Right now it's about 6:30 in the morning, and you're like, Jeff, the state is closed down. What the hell are you doing up at 6:30 in the morning? It's been a pretty busy week. We actually, and by we I mean I, and then I told Michelle, but we actually found an RV that we're gonna get, and Monday I put down a deposit for the dealership to actually order it from Jayco's factory. The model that we ended up putting a deposit down on and having the dealer order for us is a 2020/2021 Jayco Jay Feather X23B hybrid trailer. And as much as I looked on YouTube, like there's, outside of like intro videos, there really hasn't been there's not a lot of content on it. However, what I keep hearing is that as far as hybrid trailers are concerned, this particular model has been in Jayco's lineup for a long time. Like, and when I look on YouTube, you can see models dating back to 2012, 2013. People are doing like the intros and the walkthroughs, and it's all great. But for us, what we're excited about is that after a lot of thinking, it really is the right size for us to get out on the road, given our current situation and our lifestyle right now. So let's go. I see the sunrise happening because we're driving east, so I'm going to turn this camera around and you guys can take a look at the Minnesota sunrise. Back to the story. So we figured out that this particular model is what we wanted. You go on Jayco's website and I start looking at options and some of it. And what you do is you submit. They have a button that you just kind of submit for a quote, and then they put you in touch with your nearest dealership. And that for us is Hilltop Camper and RV. However, they put us in touch with the one in Rochester, Minnesota. And actually, the nearest one for us is actually out over in Fridley. But, I didn't really question it too much. So I got in contact with the salesperson. He's been super helpful. And, let me understand, given the current situation around the coronavirus, like what he's trying to do to figure out, like, where factories are and also just for them, like what their working situation is. Minnesota is still currently under a stay-at-home order through the beginning of May. So, but anyway, work through all that. I officially put down the deposit on Monday, but then I had scheduled time. I was like, well, I just kind of want to take another closer look, just because I've been doing a lot of thinking and research around some of the stuff that I've read about the trailer itself, and people's experiences, and then that turned into things that I want to do. Also considering the fact that it's going to be me, Michelle when we start traveling, and our 3 pets. So how do we account for the pets? Dogs aren't really an issue. Toby and Henry are pretty good travelers already. The cat was the one that we spent the most time thinking about. So beyond that, it's also, I've been doing a lot of work into like weight, looking at all the accessories that we might need, and at the same time, like thinking about what that means when it all comes together and I need to tow everything, what our payload is. So there'll probably be videos on that pretty soon as well. Anyway, that's what today is about. I am bringing a measuring tape, and just because I want to get some dimensions that I want to work with, some measurements. We've been doing some thinking around that, and just so we could start to wrap our heads around, like, okay, where would this thing go? Where would some of the major things go? And then the little items, like, we'll figure it out once we actually pick up the trailer. So pretty exciting week for me. I'm super stoked, which is why at 6:30 in the morning I'm driving down to Rochester, which is like a, you know, an hour and a half drive, just so I could go and spend some time. They have some late models. The designs, you know, the structural design of the trailer hasn't changed. It's more of the decor year over year. We got the 2020/2021 year model because of Jayco's modern farmhouse decor, and it's, you know, white kitchen, white cabinetry, and that's exactly what Michelle wanted, and exactly what we don't have in our sticks and bricks house. So going to look at a late model. I want to spend some time with it, and then I'll point out to you guys all the things that we have been considering, all the changes that we want to do. So I'm hoping to take some time to walk you through all of it. Okay, well, this is a late model of the one that we ordered. So it is the Jayco Jay Feather X23B. It is a hybrid travel trailer, as you can see by the fold-down tent. Over here where sleeping quarters are. This is as close as it'll get to what I just put a deposit down on. Let's just talk through some of the things that I wanted to get done, and we just start outside here. First thing I was talking about is that these guys don't have a battery disconnect, so I'm probably gonna look to buy one. I think you can find one for like 15 bucks and then connect it here. Battery disconnect to me is a must-have, but it's a cheap must-have, like $15. You know, usually these come with lead-acid batteries. We'll try the lead-acid battery for a season or two, and then if we feel like we need it, we'll go ahead and do the upgrade. So let's look at the weight. So you'll see here, the weight on this particular rig is 4,500 pounds, give or take a little. Cargo capacity is 962. There's gonna be a lot of math. You look at tire pressure, here's what's recommended. And then again, they remind you don't carry more than 962 pounds. I don't think we'll get near that, but that's for another video. I kind of want to measure this from pass-through storage. Looks like the height is a little short at 12 inches. So we'll see. I either do storage containers or just bags and be able to put stuff in, you know, like hoses and stuff like that, and just to be able to organize it. So the next thing that I wanted to do is that these steps, you know, they're fine. They're a little bit flimsy. So what I've talked to the dealership here about is to put in the Morai solid steps, which is an option. One of the things that we take into consideration is the Morai steps will get into the way of this strut here on this particular type of door that they have. We're going to replace this door with a friction hinge, and then we'll have the flip up, and then we'll have the flip up solid steps over here. So then over on this side, dig in the Goodyear tires, dig in the grill holder here, and nothing we really want to do in the back. That's probably going to be our sleeping quarters, so it's probably more on the inside than anything. I like the fact that it has a black tank flush, And I looked at like putting some grills here so bugs don't get in from the bottom, right? So you prevent that from happening. The other thing coming around this side is the water heater. Been looking at Truma, the tankless water heaters, but you know, I think that might be a nice to have. So again, we'll probably work with this over the first couple years, see how it goes, and then if we feel like that's gonna be a worthwhile upgrade, then we'll just do it aftermarket and have the dealership install. Man, it is cold. So it's a little dark in here. They don't have a battery hooked up. So this is the front sleeping space. I think what we might do is use it as just a space that the pets can hang out in. When we travel, unless we have additional people with us, we'll probably not bring the front mattresses. It's just so you have a, you know, they can hang out on those platforms, or maybe we'll just put a mat down. It's not, you know, not gonna be a big deal. We like the dinette set up here. And then the other thing we like is, unfortunately with the new model, they went away from this type of table, which is a scissor table. So what happens is you could adjust the level of this, and also it's freestanding. So this can actually come over here and serve as your dinette table. You could then put it down and serves as a platform for a bed. That's how you create some new sleeping room. But also where it's placed right now, you could look at it like a coffee table or dining table on this side too, if Michelle and I want to eat here. You could actually buy this thing at Factory RV Plus. I think they have spare parts of these, so you could buy these, and so a table can be solved. One thing we also want to do is get a level mate, and I wanted to see where we could put it, and I think it's probably going to be here towards the front of the rig, so that'll help with leveling, and I think that should be pretty good. And yeah, couch looks comfy, and we got the fridge, and then kind of the main event is this guy right here. Look at all the storage. The other thing that we've been thinking about is the bathroom. A couple things I want to do in here. First, I've read a lot in the forums in that water gets everywhere. So I want to try to figure out a way to mitigate that. And I think I know how. So using some shower curtain holders here on each side, and then also at the bottom, adding to the space here, we might actually trim the curtains so that, and then add a couple magnets holder at the bottom. Also put in some additional liner around the shower itself, and then hopefully it'll be when we actually pull the curtain over, and there'll be a lot less slack. We'll have coverage on the outside, and then with less slack, you'll keep hopefully a lot more of the water inside the shower. So the other thing about the shower is I like the shower head. However, I think I may want to change this, or at the very least these guys, to be more of a single handle rather than having two. That's also another thing that we might want to modify. The last thing we were thinking about, we were looking for a place to put Kitty's litter box. So I was thinking here, but unfortunately you have a lot of hoses and pipes in here, and then there's access panel on the other side. That's not gonna work. We probably would just have to put Kitty's stuff here. The other option, if we come around to the main event, is maybe have it here. If we put it here, it might be enough room for Kitty to get in and out, but then Henry won't get in it, our pup. I hope you guys could hear the wind, because it is windy. It's windy outside, but you know, actually a pretty good first-hand experience of how it could be. Oh, one last thing is getting a generator. So I like to get a propane or dual fuel generator. The one I'm looking at is the Champion one, but finding a place to be able to tie it down will probably be around here under the 9net somewhere. Probably a couple bungee cords to be able to just hold it in place, and then I think we should be good. But on travel days, I think to have a generator that could give us some power overnight, and of course if it runs on propane, it's a bit longer lasting, and that should be good. I think I talked through all of the things that I want to do for this rig on the inside. We really like it. Yeah, all the other things we're just really excited about. We'll have a weight distribution hitch, everything we can do to just make this a safe rig for us to travel down the road on, and we'll talk a bit more about what we want to do.